This video is on the 2020 AP Calculus AB practice exam. So I'm going to be doing the multiple choice calculator active. So on number 76, they say let f be the function defined above, k is a constant, for what value of k is f of x continuous. Well, the definition of continuity at the number 1 is that the limit of f of x as x approaches 1 is equal to f of 1. So what you would do to find the value of k is you would just set the left-hand limit equal to the right-hand limit at 1. So you get negative 2 minus 7 is negative 1 minus 2k. And then you're just going to solve. So that's negative 9 plus 1, negative 2k, and negative 8 divided by negative 2 is 4. So that answer would be choice C. 77. They give you this function from 0 to 2. The function is e to the t squared minus 2. Okay, the velocity function. They want the total distance. So I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to type this into my calculator. So I typed the function into y1. Then what I did is I graphed the function from 0 to 2. So my x min was 0. My x max was 2. My y min, I made negative 3. My y max, I made 20. So after you graph this, you can see that there is a 0 over here. So I typed F5 on my TI-89. I chose choice 2 for 0. Lower bound, I typed 0. Upper bound, I typed 2. You can scroll. I find that it's tedious scrolling and time consuming. So then you get the intersection. So this value is 0.832555. You need to store that. So you go to the home screen and you type XC stow in A. So because this part here is below the x-axis, you need to change the bound so that it will be positive, because distance is you have to integrate the absolute value of velocity. So that's what I did. I changed these bounds so that this would be positive. You would leave it like this if it were asking for a displacement, but it's saying distance. And so this is what I typed in on my calculator, and then I just pressed enter and got 13.368. So let's take a look at number 78. Properties of integrals. We want the integral from 8 to 2. So we can just get it from 2 to 8 and then reverse it. So if I want to go from 2 to 8, I would do from 2 to 5 plus 5 to 8. 5 to 8, we would reverse this. And there's different approaches to this. And then I would add those. I would get negative 7. But negative 7 would be the integral from 2 to 8. And so then negative, negative, that becomes 7 because you switch it around. So from 8 to 2, you just change the sign. Let f be a twice differentiable function defined by the differentiable function defined as an integral. It is known that g of x is always concave up, decreasing, and positive for all real numbers. Which of the following could be false? So I drew a graph of g of x, and the only answer that would make any sense is choice C. F of x is negative for all x. Because you could see that this area from negative 2 to whatever this value of x is, that's positive. So it can't be negative for all x. Number 80. Let f be this function right here, and we want the average rate of change. Okay, so I'm going to type this into y1 on my calculator. For question number 80, it's unclear whether they want the average rate of change from 0 to the value of x or from x to the value of 4. So due to the unclear wording, we're going to skip number 80. The answer key does say the answer is choice B. Let's look at number 81. So we want to get g prime of 3. And they tell us that f of g of x is equal to x. That means they're inverse functions. So to find g prime of 3, you would do 1 over f prime of 1. And the reason you would do that is because 3 comes out on the f function, 1 goes in, and so the formula tells you that you have to do the reciprocal of 1 over the derivative of f at 1. So I have 1 over negative 4, so that's choice D. Number 82, you have the graph of f of x shown above, and they want to know what could be the graph of the derivative. So if you look at this graph, you can see that to the slopes start off as being positive all the way until here, which is a little left to negative 1. So that would all be positive. Then the slopes are all negative until here, which is a little left of 1. Before it was a little left of negative 1. So all of those would be negative. And then the slopes are all positive again. So just keep in mind that they're all positive until a little left to negative 1. So the answer is going to be choice D. Then they're all negative. Yep. All right. So that would be the answer. Let's take a look at number 83. So you have the table given above. They say that it's a differentiable function, which means it's also continuous. So based on the table, which of the following statements about f of x could be false? They want to know if there exists a c on the interval such that f of c is 1. So in other words, does f of x have to pass through 1? Well, to get from 4 to negative 2, since it's continuous, it would have to pass through 1. So that can't be false. That would be true. In the next one, it says that, well, first let me do the intermediate value theorem question. So this is intermediate value theorem, so is this one. So here they're saying that there must exist a value such that it passes through negative 1. That would be true as well, because you have to pass through negative 1 to get from 4 to negative 2. Then if you look at the other choices, they're talking about the mean value theorem. So since it's differentiable, you would have the average rate of change equaling the instantaneous rate of change. So if we look at this interval here, the average rate of change is 4 minus 6, which is negative 2, over 0 minus negative 5. So that's negative 2/5. Here, the average rate of change is negative 2 minus 4, which is negative 6, over 3 minus 0, which is 3. So you get negative 2. So if we look at these two choices, we can guarantee that the derivative would have to pass through negative 1 because negative 1 is between negative 2/5 and negative 2. But we can't guarantee that the average rate of change would be 1. So that means we can't guarantee that the instantaneous rate of change would be 1. That's why for number 83, the answer would be B. Okay, you can guarantee D by the intermediate value theorem being applied to the mean value theorem. 84, I need to type this into my calculator, so let me pause this a moment. What I did in question 84 is I typed in the function g of x into y1. Then I graphed this function using the x min 1 and the x max of 3 because I eyed the answers, the y min negative 1 and the y max 1 because I only care about where the derivative, and I'm graphing the derivative. I only care where the derivative changes sign from negative to positive. So I graphed it, and then I just got the 0. And the 0 came out to be 2.85082. So remember, you always have to round to the 10,000ths place, or you can truncate. Number 85. They want to know if f is continuous, then the graph of f prime, the derivative of f is shown above. Okay, so this is the graph of f prime. On which interval is f of x increasing? So when the derivative is positive, it is increasing, so that when the derivative of a function is positive, the function is increasing. So the derivative is positive from 0 to 2. Therefore, the function is increasing on the interval from 0 to 2. Number 86. I need to type this into my calculator. Let me pause a moment. There are a couple of typos on question number 86. You can see that I fixed it on the screen. So to find the value of f of 6, you would take the value of f of 3, and then you would take the amount that accumulated from time 3 to time 6 of f prime of x dx, because this gives you the amount that you have from time 3 to 6. And so you get choice D, 7.198. 87. What is the acceleration? So what you would do is you would type this function v of t into y1, and then you would get the derivative. So on your calculator, you would do the derivative of y1 of x with respect to x such that x equals 4. And I'm going to pause, and I'm going to do that to see if I get the answer. Thank you. So I checked it out on my calculator, and yes, that answer is correct. Okay, let's look at 88. The function f is differentiable. F of 4 is 3. F prime of 4 is 2. What is the approximation of f of 4.1 using the tangent line? So for the tangent line, you use the point slope formula. You're going to replace the slope with 2. You're going to replace x1 with 4, and you're going to replace y1 with 3. You could just add the 3 immediately to the right if you wish. So then we want to use 4.1 as the approximation. So I have y is approximately 3. I added the 3 plus 2 times 4.1 minus 4 is just 0.1. So that's 3.2, or choice C. 89. Patrick is climbing stairs, and the rate of stair climbing is given by the differentiable function s, where s of t is measured in stairs per second. T is measured in seconds. Which of the following expressions gives Patrick's average rate of stairs climbed from time 0 to 20 seconds? So the way the average rate of stairs climbed from this time, when you integrate s of t, you're going to get a number of stairs. So if you want the average rate of stairs, you would integrate s of t, which would give you the number of stairs, and then the average would be from 0 to 20. So that's why it would be choice B. You have to read the words very carefully in these questions. Number 90, they want to know which of the statements is false. Sorry, my phone was ringing, so I had to pause the recording. But at any rate, the answer to number 90 is choice A, and the reason for that is that we don't even have a value of f of 1. So the limit as you approach 1 from the left certainly cannot equal f of 1, since f of 1 does not exist. All right, and that's it for the recording. Thank you.